On the March.
Yes, the Goodyear story is a big story, as big as the free world itself. And essentially, it is the story of people, a long line of people stretching back to 1898. Think of the generations of people who have saved and invested their money because they had faith in this business. Think of the generations of people who've made and improved and sold the things we make for people. In any business, as you know, nothing happens until the sale is made. All of our success, our growth, is exactly as big as the satisfactions of our customers. Times change, products and methods change, but principles do not change. This is the story of the principle of service, carried out by men and women of capacity and conscience. Let me speak personally. My name is Thomas, Ed Thomas. I've worked for this company ever since I left high school. In the 40 years I've been here, I've learned the importance of those two words, principles and people. But let's look ahead. Let me take this moment to speak directly to those who will follow me and our present management group. This is a good business, an essential business. The things that we make give everybody better transportation, better food, clothing, shelter, more security. We need you young people. We need young ambition, young enthusiasm. We need your fresh vision and your vigor. Your opportunities and your responsibilities will be greater than ours. You can build a better, happier world, but you must build it on the strong foundations of the present and the past. We've come from guess and try to a new century of science, of synthetics, atoms and automation, of new products, new services that have never existed before. In all probability, 40% of the things that we will make and sell 10 years from now don't even exist at this moment. Think what that means. Think of the opportunity. No one knows the future, of course, but I can promise you this. It will still be a story of people, people and principles, the same kind of a family of people who gave us our good name. And the important thing is to keep our great family marching confidently into the future, dedicated to lifting human welfare, building greater security for all mankind.
The great history of Goodyear began in 1898, just before the turn of the century. But the story of rubber goes back to some unrecorded time and place. Wild rubber trees grow naturally near the equator, and if you cut them in a certain way, they'll produce a white, sticky stuff we call latex. Latex cooked over a fire will coagulate into an elastic material, natural rubber. Another curious man came along. His name was Charles Goodyear. A great many people edge of the Atlantic were curious about this queer new material. It would rub out pencil marks, so they called it rubber. It got sticky with heat and brittle with cold. Then, one day, Charles Goodyear mixed natural rubber with sulfur and, perhaps accidentally, dropped the mixture on a hot stove. The result looked leathery, but heat and sulfur had transformed the raw material into something useful. Goodyear had discovered vulcanization, and a new industry was born. Rubber began to serve mankind from that moment on. It could pad horseshoes and cushion wheels. But by the end of the 19th century, we had rubber tires that could be filled with air. And this opened up something new in transportation. And about that time in Akron, Ohio, a routine real estate transaction occurred. The year 1898. On borrowed money and courage and an idea, Frank Seiberling had bought an empty strawboard factory. He named the company after Charles Goodyear, and within a few years, the sound of the future was heard in the land. The first automobiles didn't go very far or very fast, but spluttering and muttering, they rolled ahead on rubber tires. They would change the transportation of the world. But first, they needed better tires, safer tires. It was the challenge of the future. So began the daring pioneering, the leadership that grew as the long line of men and women worked together, grew together. From borrowed money in the first 20 years, they built a $100 million business. While they built tires, they were building something else, a great name. Many of these tires have been firsts in the industry, pioneering developments which Goodyear is proud to have introduced to the world. Daring to break with the past, daring to meet the needs, the rising challenge of each new tomorrow, always willing to pay the price of quality, to risk the new idea, to find out how to make the next tire a little better than the last one. Rubber, textiles, chemicals, and steel. The production of a modern tire begins with the preparation of the materials that meet and merge at exactly the right place in the manufacturing process. Modern manufacturing methods are the result of ceaseless striving by many men over many years, an unending effort to build a better product, to build the utmost in mileage and safety, comfort and value. dipped fabric comes out of this $1 million 3T machine, the stretch has been removed through a predetermined amount of tension. On through the Z calendar, where the fabric is impregnated with the rubber. The coated fabric is fed into the bias cutting machine, which slices it into diagonal strips. A Goodyear nylon white sidewall tire is in the making. This amazing machine accurately controls time, heat, and pressure of the shaping and curing process, ensuring a uniform product of the highest quality. People of Goodyear have done the major share of research and development activities to build these improvements, to build and maintain Goodyear's leadership in the industry. Modern materials, modern machines, modern methods have brought new motion, new muscles and sinews to modern transportation. The kind of progress that builds leadership, making possible the statement, more people ride on Goodyear tires than any other kind. On the march. This historical leadership has widened the great public preference for any product bearing this great name, Goodyear. Tires are still our main business, but from the original products have come thousands of new lines, new ways to serve people. And today, the things made by the people of Goodyear are essential parts of our security and our welfare. electronic components, electronic eyes, ears, able to act with the speed of light, electronic brains, able to guide and control things far beyond human limits. SUBROC, destined to unerringly detect and destroy an enemy at long range. People making things for people. Belts to transmit power. In an automobile. Belts to transmit power in industry. V-belts, single or multiple. Flat belts. These moving belts can do so many useful things. Miles long, they carry great tonnages of bulk materials. Belts can carry people too, in many ways, many places. Things for people, small and precise things like these gaskets. Hoses, large and small. This rugged hose was developed especially for hydraulic brakes. This for dependable, safe power steering. Hoses to protect the lives and property of people everywhere. Hoses to carry acids and solvents for the fast-developing chemical industry. Rubber can be molded for all sorts of special uses. These are a new kind of air spring for automobiles. Another kind of cushioning material, foamed rubber, has excited the imagination of modern designers. New things for people. A new non-rubber chemical foam makes a much safer crash pad. Once Goodyear used all the chemicals it produced. Now they make the raw materials for many industries. Rubber, paint, plastics, textile, paper. More things for people. Since the turn of the century, we've made many thousands of different styles and sizes of items for footwear. Soles and heels for the whole family. For sport. For all kinds of special working conditions. New exciting shoe materials for any occasion. And we have new flooring materials with fascinating combinations and many uses. New films with new uses in many things. From surgical tapes to shower curtains to rainwear. New packaging materials that protect many things for people. Unique and sensationally new in laminating films is Vidine, another scientific achievement, because Vidine can add exquisite, breathtaking beauty to any surface and give phenomenal durability to a host of old and new products. New products in metals. For farm machinery, the largest rims in the world. For the mushrooming mobile home industry, special wheels and rims. Specially finished for outdoor storage, here you can find almost every type and size, from the smallest, weighing a few pounds, to the largest rims anywhere.
Hey, what is this? Where are we?
You're in an irradiation cave.
Well, what's that funny light?
Deadly gamma rays from cobalt-60. This is one of many new research tools which push back the unknown, give us knowledge of raw materials which never saw the tropics, never existed on this earth before. New sources of power from beyond the sun.
Well, what do you know?
Now I've seen everything.
Oh no, with Goodyear people, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Seems to be made of atoms. Hydrogen atoms are different from carbon atoms. Take 5 carbon and 8 hydrogen atoms, join them together, multiply them, forming a chain. Add more chains, combine them, and you have an elastic material, natural rubber. It stretches, it bounces. Mix it with sulfur, vulcanize it with heat to make it firm, and it doesn't have to come from trees. You're on the threshold of a new world. Take other ingredients, modify or augment their compounds, and you have Plioflex. Chemigum. Neoprene. Butyl. Natsen. With the discovery of Natsen, we are able to make a synthetic material that has the same molecular arrangement as the original natural rubber. Here is another fascinating achievement by Goodyear people. Back in the 20s, they discovered they could put 2 materials together in a water emulsion and make something new. Chemigum was born, and it could do many things natural rubber couldn't do. Here's the way research brings the unknown into something known and controlled, makes it useful. They make a batch of a general-purpose synthetic material. Then they learned how to make it continuously. It worked in the test tubes. It worked in a pilot plant. When World War II cut off our supplies of natural rubber, we were ready to make our own raw materials. Goodyear on the march with a desperately needed synthetic, GRS. Proved through research and development, it worked in a full-scale synthetic plant. It was like throwing open the door of our laboratories. First, we make it hot. Then we make it cold. And low-temperature production gives us a better product. Then we extend it with oil, making it cheaper, softer, easier to process. Now we can make our own flexible, long molecular chains. Make our raw materials to have exactly the elastic properties or the resistance we want. We can make our fabrics out of synthetic materials too. Starting with great improvements in cotton cords, Research worked with lighter, tougher rayon cords. Then, when everyone else had given up, Goodyear marched out in front with nylon for tires. Still lighter, still stronger, and with far greater resistance to heat. In the bright, new, wonderful century of science, the people of Goodyear have already made science their servant. Now the things they make for people are no longer limited by natural materials. At long last, they can tailor their own. We're still moving ahead with new materials, new compounds and chemicals, new fabrics, pushing back the unknown. And we're helping produce the revolutionary new source of heat and power, the enormous energy locked up in the atom, atomic power. Goodyear on the march. Not only as the world's largest tire company, but also as a world leader in the manufacture and sale of industrial rubber products, air foam, metal products, protective packaging films, flooring, electronics, chemicals, plastics, aviation, aircraft, guided missiles. Yes, Goodyear on the march.
Hey, hold it! What about salesmen and dealers? What about us, the people in distribution? All the people in the 60 great marketing centers in all the 48 states, in 150 countries throughout the free world. Listen, Goodyear has a wonderful sales organization, but we're the people who'll complete the link with the customer. How long do you think Goodyear'd stay on top without us? Without the people in our worldwide network to move and sell the things we make? Don't you ever forget this.
Goodyear around the world. Goodyear plants and plantations. Growing things. Making things. Selling things. Since 1910, Goodyear has been serving our good neighbors to the north. In Canada. Moving eastward across the Atlantic. Wolverhampton, England. The first Goodyear plant outside North America started making things for people, and the year was 1927. Since that time, the Goodyear family has been working together, growing together, serving those under the British flag. From quiet countrysides to the pulsing heartbeat of the empire, London. only a short hop across the North Sea. The Goodyear family is serving in Sweden, too. Sweden, rich in history and tradition, yet as modern as tomorrow. Peaceful, quiet people, alert people. And Goodyear serves here in their defense, serving the guardians of the sky over a free world, serving the individual on his way to work. South to the lowlands now. Brussels, renowned since the Middle Ages for its luxury and gaiety of life. Today, hosting a World's Fair. Goodyear is on the scene, for here is the headquarters city of Goodyear's Benelux territory, serving Belgium, Holland, Luxembourg. Luxembourg. Of this enchanting picture book spot, the German poet Goethe wrote, "Here grandeur and grace, somber solemnity, and exquisite loveliness are found side by side." Goodyear around the world. Goodyear in South Africa. Maze of striking contrasts, from this native village in the bush country to this modern mining structure just a few miles away. In the powerhouse of the African continent. Goodyear serving, growing in a raw new world, keeping pace. Far East. The Goodyear family is there too, growing things, making things, selling things to people. India, Malaya, Sumatra, Java, and way down under. We've been in Australia since 1927. With similar characteristics of youthful vigor and rugged vitality, Australia is much like our own country. Sydney, Viewed from its most famous landmark, the Sydney Harbor Bridge resembles an American city more than any other in the land down under. The good name of Goodyear is well known in this part of the world, from New Zealand to Japan. Here in the Philippines, Manila, deeply rooted in Western civilization, an Occidental city in an Oriental setting. Its streets lined with modern concrete and steel structures. Goodyear is here, bringing better food, better clothing, shelter, and transportation. Across the wide Pacific now, Goodyear on the march. Goodyear dedicated to human welfare, building greater security for all mankind. Goodyear in South America speaks Spanish in the Argentine, but the great principle of service is universal. A gay, cosmopolitan city of splendid boulevards, parks, and ultra-modern architecture. Buenos Aires, city of culture, city of elegance and subtle charm, a blend of skyscrapers and dreams of the old world. Goodyear in Brazil. young giant among the industrial nations of the world. Go north to Colombia, or turn west over the towering Andes. You'll find Goodyear people in beautiful Venezuela, serving in Central America too, and in Mexico. Here, Aztec priests once offered human sacrifices to their gods. Mexico City, founded in 1325, is the oldest city in North America. Is here too, serving our good neighbors to the south, growing. In a single lifetime, no one person can ever visit all the communities that are served by Goodyear. In the United States alone, hundreds of stores, thousands of dealers serving every community, making and selling the things most useful to the greatest number of people. More than 44,000 shareholders provide our working capital. 100,000 of us are working together to make the things that we sell to many millions of customers. Goodyear on the march. Now we're home again, Akron, Ohio, and down there are mile after mile of Goodyear plants. The story of Goodyear started right down there in a little strawboard factory. An industry was born in human curiosity, but Goodyear began with courage and fresh vision, with people. Now we're in the third generation of people who still save and invest in this business. The third generation of people who are still making and improving and selling the new products we make for the new needs, new markets. What are Goodyear people like today? Whether you find them on or off the job, you'll find them of all ages, all sizes, of many kinds, creeds, and colors. They speak many languages, but they're still people of capacity and vigor, men and women with their share of curiosity and courage and conscience. Goodyear people live and work and play in 1,000 communities. You'll find them voting on election day. You'll find them meeting with their neighbors, working for better schools or parks and playgrounds. You'll find many of them deeply concerned with moral and spiritual values. But wherever you find them, the story of Goodyear is still a growing story of people and principles.